The best Valorant settings for quality and FPS. Alright. Let's start with general. So first things first is you want to put this to yellow. It doesn't matter if you use either of these. They're pretty much both the same unless you're actually colorblind. But this is what I use. My sense is 0.44. Obviously, sense is completely up to you guys, but that's the best sense that I've found. It's kind of a mix between lower sense and higher sense. People like It's Timmy and Asu use 0.48, which I felt was like way too high for like long range enemies, but 0.44 works for me. Obviously, one for the scope sensitivity multiplier. You can change that if you want, but I wouldn't recommend it. Inverted mouse off, raw input buffer. I have run a bunch of tests on this one. It just makes your gameplay and your aim just that little bit more smooth. So I would totally put it on. It doesn't hurt. Rotate. Keep player centered. Off. Minimap size. I put both to 1. Vision cones on, just so you can see where everybody's seeing. And you know if your teammate is covering an angle or not. That is absolutely crucial if you're starting out and learning. Region names, if you're learning, definitely have this on. But since I know most callouts, I just turned it off, and I'll learn the rest that I don't know on my own. All this stuff is up to you, but I have it all off. Now this is a setting that I think a lot of people need to look into. So depending on what eye you're dominant, which you can look up how to test that. I'm pretty sure you make a triangle with your hands, with your fingers, and switch eye to eye, and whatever one is center, like if you put it right in front of you, whichever eye you have, you're looking, and the triangle is center, that is your dominant eye, right? And what you want to do is you want to put the gun on the other side. So I'm right eye dominant, and I put my gun on the left. It's just easier to see, and it gives you that little bit of edge, and that's what we're all here for. We're here for that little bit of an edge on our enemies and being that little bit better, because once you get up into high elo lobbies, like, the skill gap is small. So anything and everything is important in a game like this. All right, so I have all this stuff off, right? Show mature content on. That is so you can see when you get headshots. Headshots usually have a blood splatter or something like that, and you'll know when you get a headshot. Show corpses off. Show blood on. Invisibility indicators, of course you want to have that on. Network buffering, minimum. Show bullet tracers, yes. For things like the op, you want to know where the shot hit. If it doesn't hit you, you want to know where they are, right? Okay. Show spectator count. I have that off because when you're in a tight situation, you do not want to know who is watching you, how many people. Because, if that is a motivator to you, have it on. But most of the time, if you're learning the game, or you're pretty well versed in this game, I don't know, man, you could still get really stressed out. Even if you're the best, that can stress you out in a tight situation, and you want to be the absolute best in those situations. All right, everything else off. I just have team colors effect HUD for observer. No, my bad. Show players keybinds on minimap. I don't know why I have that on. I think I watched another video and they had that on and they gave a good reason, so I would just turn that on. And that stuff is just whatever. And so for controls, I have all the same as when you start out. I used to have them on like mouse buttons and all this other stuff, but I found that a lot of pros play with them on normal whatevers. And CQEX is what most pro players use, so that's what I use. Okay, WASD, run is default, and left curl is actually my walk button. I don't have it as shift because in Apex Legends I play with the sprint being left curl. I have a short ass pinky, I have small hands, so that is what I found is the best, and I have shift actually as my crouch. Yeah. And then toggle walk off, of course. I mean, if you really do feel better with walking default and actually having a sprint button, go ahead. You do you. But that is not what most people do. So that's what I use. And then all that other stuff is good. I also have toggle crouch off because, like in Apex, you have it on, but in a game like this, you don't want to crouch that much. You're rarely ever crouching in this game. There's very key points where you should crouch or can crouch, and that is something that you just learn over time, or you learn the concepts of in, maybe other videos that I do. That is all the same. Hold, toggle. I mean, you can have toggle if you want. These are just all my settings that I'll let you look through. I do not have spray on anything, and that is because I have gotten plenty of kills off of the fact that somebody decides to spray. I have heard that, countless amounts of times and have gotten kills off of it just because they wanted to spray in some random moment, and I catch them off guard because I knew exactly where they were. So I would be very careful of that. Same with inspect weapon, but I only ever do it when I have my knife out and I'm in the, we won or something like that. We won or we're in like buy. It's just, I just enjoy it too much. But spray is off. I just can't. Inspecting weapon also does that, but I'm just more disciplined to not do that. I mean, I could do that, but I don't trust myself. People do it way too often. I just I copy a lot of pro players and stuff like that, so I don't want to create bad habits. So communication, I have T and Y. A lot of people use mouse buttons, but I do not. I don't. I just feel really comfortable with the T button. Ping is F, and that's that. All right, and then these are all my interface settings. And you guys can pause for those. I have a video of crosshair settings, but I'll go over it again. I have 1 on everything except for the line length. That's 3. And I also use white because across every map, white is the one color that you can see. And it sounds weird because, you have icebox and stuff like that, which are, white, but it's more gray, and you're able to see the white. That's the best color. There's a lot of redder, pinkish maps, like Haven and stuff like that you kind of lose this red crosshair, this pink crosshair. Cyan blue is really hard to see. Dark blue is really hard to see. Green is probably one of the easiest colors to see, but there are times where you lose it in the grass and stuff like that, or other maps. But white is the absolute best color. I highly recommend using it across all of your things. And all right, graphic settings. So I have the limiters on. A lot of pro players do not have the limiters on, but that's because they have incredibly good PCs. If you want your PC to run maximum and get all the frames it can, it will maximize them to these, so I would put that on. I also have on plus boost because of my type of monitor. I have NVIDIA, some type of thing in my monitor that I've looked up and found that with boost on is probably the best. And then this is what I have here. So we have on for multi-threaded rendering, low, off for all these, MSAA times 2, anti-aliasing, and 16 times whatever. And this is because this doesn't really affect much, so I would put that on. This is all like proven to be the best settings for FPS and quality on the internet right now. And I've definitely put in a lot of research to make sure that this was all good. Improved clarity is on. This I have off. It in some way helps, but it also in some way hurts. That's what I found, so I wouldn't use it. Bloom is on, and then distortion and cast shadows is off. And then this is all, I'd recommend having this all off, except for maybe, FPS, just to make sure that you're not dropping FPS, but I feel like you can tell when you're dropping FPS. And it's also more stuff on your screen that would, take up space, but this is kind of personal preference. But I'd recommend not having any of it on because it's kind of distracting, and it's just more stuff to be on your screen, and yeah. And then here I have all the music off. I do this in Apex too. The music, it's distracting, and I just have it off. That's personal preference as well. And enable HRTF. Do this. First, I found a lot of videos on it. It is a lot better sound quality, no matter what type of headphones that you have or you're using. It's just shown to have the best sound quality, and you're able to hear the 3D way more. So I'd highly recommend it. This is all just personal stuff, and I have all those there. So that is all of my Valorant settings, and I've put in a lot of research to find them out. And yeah, have a great rest of your day. I love you guys. Bye.